Yo YouTube, so today I'm going to show you 5 paradiddle grooves, and it's not going to necessarily go in order of skill level, but the more easy basic grooves are going to start at the beginning, and then there's going to be harder, more intermediate, advanced grooves sprinkled in there throughout the video. Now I want to just say that these technically aren't just paradiddle grooves. There's paradiddle variations. I think of paradiddle variations as not only different stickings of a normal paradiddle, but also I'm trying to think of them as like the double paradiddle, the paradiddle diddle, but those are all technically separate rudiments. But they're, you know, they're all in like the same kind of family. So I'm just considering those like variations on it. That's why it's titled that. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's just hop right into the video. Groove number 1 is a basic paradiddle groove, and basically you're just splitting paradiddles between the hi-hat and the snare, and then you're adding in some flavor with the bass drum. Again, all you're doing, you're just playing right, left, 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 and you're just doing that. The right hand stays on the hi-hat, the left hand stays on the snare, and then you're adding in the bass drum. And the bass drum is going to be on the 1 and the and of 1, and then the 3 and the of 3. And what this does is it takes the paradiddle from sounding like an exercise to actually sounding like a groove. Now, you could argue it still kind of sounds like an exercise, but with a varying bass drum pattern, it kind of adds to the groove and makes it feel like it's more natural, you know, not just like mechanical machine exercise. All right, so now I'll show you that with some music, and then I'll go through it from a slow speed up to a fast speed. Groove number 2 is basically just an expansion of groove number 1. So we're taking that and we're just switching up the bass drum, and that's it. So it's going to have the same hands, same right hand, left hand splits. So the difference for the bass pattern in groove number 2 is just that you're going to be playing on the 1 and the of 1, and then you're going to be playing on the 3, the and of 3, and then the e of 4. To put that more simply, it's literally just following the right hand from beat 3 on. And then the beat 1 is just the 1 and the which is the exact same thing as beat 3 from groove number 1. But I don't want to confuse you, so I'll just show you. Groove number 3 is weird. And the reason why it's weird is because it can technically be felt and counted in 4, but it doesn't really feel that right. I think it feels a lot better when you're counting it as a bar of 5 and a bar of 3, which adds up to 2 bars of 4, technically. It could also just be considered 1 bar of 4 if you really wanted to count it like that, but I wouldn't recommend it. But I am going to write it like that because it's easier, and you could definitely play this in a 4/4 song. It just might feel weird depending on the way that the song is played. That sounds confusing, but I promise the groove sounds really cool. All it is a double paradiddle followed by a paradiddle followed by a double paradiddle. But what makes this a little different is that you're still following the splits with the right hand on the hi-hat and the left hand on the snare, but then at the end, instead of playing just a normal double at the end of the double paradiddle, which double paradiddles are just right, left, right, right, and left, right, left, left. So instead of the double at the end, where you would be playing either a right, right, or a left, left, you're gonna play right, left on the snare. So that when you come back, you're on the right hand of the hi-hat. Of course, flip all the stickings if you're a lefty. It's going to make a lot more sense when I actually play it because it might sound confusing right now. All right, so for groove number 3, the bass drum is going to be on the 1, the 2, the and of 3, and the 4. And you'll see that when I actually show you right now. Groove number 4 consists of 2 paradiddles followed by a paradiddle diddle, which sometimes gets mixed up for a double paradiddle. Some people will call it a double paradiddle, but a paradiddle diddle is exactly what it sounds like. It's 2 singles, so para, right, left, and then 2 doubles, right, right, left, left, or diddle, diddle, however you want to say that. But yeah, so this one, if you count it out, you have, what did I say? 2 paradiddles. So that right there is 8 notes. And then you have a paradiddle diddle, which is 6 notes. So that doesn't add up to 16, which means it's not going to be 4/4. It adds up to 14. And if you divide that by 2, I'm not trying to make this like a math class, but it's going to be a 7/8 groove, which is why I love it, because it's totally different from the other ones. But yeah, this groove sounds sick. I use this a lot. Basically, it's like my go-to groove when I hear, oh, we're going to play this in 7/8, depending on, of course, the vibe of the song. I'm not going to play this in like a Latin tune, but it sounds really cool in rock, prog rock, metal, whatever it may be. The bass drum for groove number 4 is going to be on the 1, the and of 2, which it depends on how you're counting it. If we're thinking of 7 beats, then it's going to be the and of 2. If we're just thinking in 16th notes, it would be the of 4 or the of 1. But let's think of 8th notes. So it's going to be the 1, the and of 2, the 5 and the and of 6. And another way that you can do it is you can just play on the 1 and then play it on the 5 and the and of 6. So just take out the from beat 2 of the 7 beats because we're in 7/8. All right, this is confusing. I'll just show it on paper. I'll show you the sheet music so it makes way more sense to all of us and you don't have to suffer through this. So, all right, let's do it. Groove number 5 is the Neil Peart groove. And rest in peace to Neil Peart. He was an absolute monster on the drum kit and probably helped millions of people pick up drums and learn how to play because just how amazing he was at drums and how good he sounded and how good Rush was. But yeah, this is what I call the Neil Peart groove, and this can be heard pretty clearly in The Spirit of Radio, but he plays this groove so much. And it might not be to a T the exact groove he usually plays, but it's very similar sounding, and you'll see what I mean when I actually play it. But for this one, I'm kind of cutting it close and considering it a paradiddle groove because there are paradiddles in there, and that's why I'm considering it one, but it's not very like straightforward because there's some odd things I'll go over in a second. But so basically this is going to follow the pattern of paradiddle, and then right after the paradiddle there's a left 16th note. So right, left, right, right, left. And then we're keeping that as an 8th note, or you can just consider the next to be a 16th note rest. And then we're starting a double paradiddle, so right, left, right, left, right, right. And then we're doing an inverted paradiddle, I guess. Now, if you've read any books like Stick Control or something like that, you've 100% seen this. And all really a inverted or like a variation, I guess it's not technically inverted, but it's a variation of a paradiddle, would be just changing the stickings. Because all a paradiddle is 2 singles and 1 double. And this sticking is left, right, right, left, and you'll see that. So it's going to be a paradiddle followed by a left 16th note, a 16th note rest, or you could just consider that left as an 8th note, which is how I wrote it. And then you have a double paradiddle and then a normal paradiddle variation. So kind of confusing, but I'll show you what that sounds like. All right, so I hope you guys liked the grooves, and I hope that you actually tried them and paused the video and got on the kit and worked on them. But what I do want to encourage is actually try to make your own grooves. Some of these I've kind of taken from other places and expanded on them, or made them my own, or just taken common grooves that people already know and I'm trying to teach them. But I encourage you actually take paradiddles and just sit down and try to work out your own groove in kind of a similar way to how I've done that, and how many people have done that. That's what is really amazing about learning rudiments, is that you can take them to the kit and kind of work through a process in applying them. Because if you think about it, it's just different strokes of like single and double strokes and sometimes triple strokes, flams, and then you can actually like try and sit down and work through them. Some things are gonna sound absolutely horrible. I promise you that. Like I've made grooves that are terrible, like absolutely terrible, and should not be heard by the human ear. But then I've made grooves that I felt like were decent enough to put into a video. So yeah, I encourage you guys to actually do that. Sit down and make your own grooves. Because it's not only just like sometimes you get really awesome grooves and it feels great, but it's a lot of fun actually working out those things. And I think it's actually a really good practice method, because you're working with the rudiments, figuring out how to apply them, which at the end of the day is the point of them. We're not supposed to just be playing paradiddles every day. Yeah, I am rambling now, so I'm gonna end the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, bell notification, whatever. Yeah, I think that's it. So I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, weekend, week. Yeah, peace out.